Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I am Adavie Gutierrez. Clowning around and learning are two concepts that don't normally go together, unless you're planning a party for your children. Earl Childs, also known as Jelly Bean, is a clown and owner of Child's Party Services, a family business he began after starring as a clown at his own daughter's birthday party. He not only entertains, but educates on fire safety and anti-bullying. Here to tell us more about his clowning business is Earl Childs. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, how did you get started in being a clown? Like
clowning
clowning around. Were you always a clown? Tell me the story behind.
Well, I wasn't born as a clown, but when my daughter was young, as a single parent, I was running around trying to plan a birthday party for her. And in trying to get a clown that had the dedication and the patience and wouldn't run in and run out, couldn't find one, so I decided to throw my hat into the ring. And ever since then, I've been giving parties for young children.
Wow. So what were you doing before you started being a clown, before that actually?
Well, I've always worked with children. I've actually worked 30 years in social services working with children, directing youth programs, and the age range got younger and younger and younger. So I kind of combined the two, my love of children with my nieces and nephews and of course my daughter, and the fact that I wanted to make an impact in young children.
Nice. So how did you go about making this clown a business? Actual business.
Okay. Well, like I said, my daughter started it, and after that I started advertising, going kind of one-on-one, doing it part-time, and it wasn't until about a year and a half that I started doing it full-time. Due to the economy, and the need of money and necessity, I started clowning around. We specialize in clowns of color. I think it's important that kids see that there's clowns that look like them as well, which brings me back to a story when I first began. I was doing a party in Brooklyn one day, and a young child says, "You're not a real clown." And I asked him why. He says, "Because you're black. Clowns are not black." And you know, and to see that and to hear that kind of encouraged me to do it even more. I don't go in a lot of makeup. I make sure that the kids see that we are just people in clown makeup. So it's very light makeup to show that we're humans as well.
So how do kids react when they see you, when they don't see this painted face? They only see maybe partial. How do they react?
Well, kids have an innate ability to kind of see the goodness in people. And I guess I've always had that. So kids kind of gravitate towards me. It's very rare that we bust into a party and kids go scattering because, again, as I said before, the makeup is not a lot. And that kid that was afraid when he first went into the party, that's the kid that's on my leg that I have to shake off going home.
And how old is your daughter now?
My daughter's 28 now.
Wow.
She's 28, so I've been doing it for a few years, for about 23, going on 25 years now, actually.
Wow. But you started full-time a year ago?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me, was your family always supportive of this business or this idea that you have of clowning around, and when did they embark in it with you?
Well, again, my daughter was the inspiration behind it, and she loved it because her daddy was a clown. And then she kind of, after a few years, she kind of went along with me. She used to dress up until she got about 9 and said, "Daddy, I don't want to be a clown no more. It's embarrassing." But she took the money and spent the money and brought her toys and whatever that she needed, and it paid for her schooling. So that's pretty much it.
It is just you and your daughter, or is there other family members? It's
myself, my daughter. We started with 2 nieces, and my sister helped me now. Now we have about 5 clowns. About 3 are family members, and they're still involved in it. I'm very proud.
Nice.
With a name like Childs, it was kind of destined to go into children's parties.
Okay. And what is a day in life of Jelly Bean?
Well, day in life of Jelly Bean is basically during the week I try to go to the schools and drum up some business there because we do educational puppet shows as well. And such themes as fire safety, health and nutrition to fight obesity in children. We also do character building. We also have puppet making workshops, which a lot of daycare centers and the schools appreciate because the kids can make puppets in their own likeness, and then it culminates into a Who Am I video where we videotape them talking about who they feel they are at that particular time in their life.
How do the kids interact? Like, once they know that they have to like participate but also use their thinking skills, like how does that interact, and are they happy that they're participating, or are they excited, or do some kids retract?
Well, they think they're being entertained all the time. Okay. Our basic motto is a clown can teach as well as entertain, and we try to merge the two in everything that we do. Even the small birthday parties and individual birthday parties that we do, there's a puppet show, there's an educational puppet show, and the questions and things that go on are educational and are age appropriate for that age. So the kids very rarely know that they're being taught, but they are.
Okay, and besides having fun, what do you want the kids to walk away with?
Well, a sense of pride. A sense of pride in everything that they do, whether they are bankers, accountants, whether they're even clowns. You can be proud of that because you're a business owner, you're selling a service, and you're entertaining people.
And what is the most fulfilling about what you do? Like, what is the most fulfilling part of the job?
Well, seeing the smiles on the kids' faces and letting the parents, and seeing that the parents enjoy it, because it's been a while. As a parent, it's been a while since you were a kid, and trying to run a party from start to finish can be kind of pulling on your nerves and stuff. So it's affordable. We make it affordable. One of the things I got into this business is to make it affordable as well. So I'm not the type of clown that's going to run in and run out as soon as time's up, and provide a complete services. For example, for the 2 hours, you can get a clown, a puppet show, games with prizes, animal balloons, face painting, music, and we bring all that with us, and that's under $200 for 2 hours.
For 2 hours?
For 2 hours.
I gotta keep you in mind, so when I have a kid.
Please do.
For my nieces and nephew.
Please do.
And so what are the parents and teachers are looking for when they contact you? Do they already know about your service, or what questions do they have?
Well, the teachers, of course, want to know if I've worked with kids, if I've been fingerprinted, and if if I'm not some weirdo dressed up in a clown suit or whatever have you. Most of our clowns are former teachers, so we do lesson plans. Lesson plans are incorporated in our puppet shows. They want to make sure that we interact with the kids well, and that the lessons are being taught, that certain segments of the lessons are being taught.
Okay, and are you located in the Bronx? Do you live in the Bronx?
I lived in the Bronx for 20 years. I just moved to Queens, but we operate out of our household, so we come to you.
Okay, and your business is out of the household?
It's out of the household.
Okay.
One of the things that we're offering now to the Bronx, because I basically came from the Bronx, we're offering Bronx daycare centers and youth groups 30 minutes of free clowning around. They can just call us at our number, and which is 646-881-5070, or look at our website at www.childspartyservice.com.
Wow, nice. And so tell me a little bit more about how the business is run. You said it's out of a home, so it's comfortable, I suppose. So how do you run it, like, out of the household?
Well, it's like running any other business. It's just a location. I do all the accounting and all the paperwork at the home. That's where my office is. And as I said, we come to the person, so we bring everything with us. We have bags and bags of things that we bring with us, including the music, and that's what the parents enjoy the most, because they don't have to do anything but feed the kids actually at a party. We take care of everything from point A to point B.
What happens when kids are scared of clowns? Like, what happens when you come in and you have a few kids that are scared, and like, how do you bring them back, and how do you make them comfortable?
Well, the important thing is not to force it on the kids, on the children, to let them sit back and watch how I interact with the other kids and their friends. And then once they see that their friends are being treated well, that they're getting all these gifts and prizes and balloons and stuff like that, they usually tend to kind of come over. And like I said before, that's the kid that's on my leg holding me as I try to get out.
How do you approach hard topics like bullying and health, and how do you approach those topics and make them fun for the kids?
Okay. Well, let's say a daycare center wants to do a puppet show, wants to order a puppet show on anti-bullying. We already have a show that's already set. But as I said before, most of our workers, most of our clowns are former teachers and youth workers, so that we try to customize the show based on the needs of that vendor or that organization. We sit down with the teachers, and prior to the show, of course, sit down with the teachers and find out which points that they want to make and emphasize those points in the show. If we have to come up with a new show, we do that. The shows are interactive so that the kids get involved. There are balloons at the end so that they do go away with something. And the questions at the end and the review sessions are basically meant to review the points that were supposed to be made in the lesson.
Nice. Can you demonstrate what
I sure
you
can.
do with the balloon?
I sure can.
Yay.
Well, prior to coming, I made this little wrist bracelet for you.
Yeah.
If I can just put that on you.
Yeah.
And then, as you can see, as you will see, most of our balloons don't take any time to make at all. So I'm going to make a quick balloon for you guys.
Okay.
So you can see how quickly that goes. I'm just going to make a little thing here. And as we talk,
Yes.
you'll see that it'll be done before you
So
even
how do you
notice
decide on what you're going to make? Or you just...
Well, usually I ask the kid what they want. And a lot of times kids don't have any idea what they want. So there's a lot of set animals that we can do that we automatically make. And there's your little doggy.
Aw,
Thank
you. Well, thank
So
you
that's
so
great.
much for coming.
Well, thank you for having me
I
again.
appreciate you being here. And how can people get in contact with you and know more about your services?
Okay, again, you can call me at my home, at my number, which is 646-881-5070, or you can contact me on my website, childspartyservice.com.
Thank you so much, Earl, for being here. Jelly Bean, and thank you so much for my flower. And we'll be back with more of the Bronx Journal.
Okay, thank you.